20% DHT gel. Just as a reference, the most commonly available or the only available DHT gel, at least in a pharmaceutical preparation that's already done for you, is Andractim. Andractim DHT gel, which is 2.5% DHT. Imagine what a 20% DHT gel would do. I've got evidence of that. I'm going to demonstrate for you with a real client, a PFS client nonetheless, what 20% high potency DHT gel does, both for the cognitive system, the well-being, the antidepressant effect, as well as the major problem in some of these sexual dysfunction people, which is significant erectile dysfunction.
Hey brother, I just want to give you a quick update. I went ahead and applied the DHT gel. So I didn't sleep last night. I had a full insomnia night. I've been feeling fucking horrible. So I applied that tonight and all of a sudden I have tons of energy. I feel so much better. I feel lucid. I just want to get things done. Very, very positive initial response.
And as I'm going to show you, this guy's response was positive not only in the cognitive and productivity aspects. I mean, look, DHT is an antidepressant, and especially at a 20% concentration gel, it's fucking phenomenal. I've taken it myself. I made a homemade DHT 20% gel. I'll get to my experiences later on in this video, so another reason to stick around. But the other very powerful benefit of this was, I'll read you guys a quick message here. This was the next morning. He goes, "Good morning. Slept fantastic and woke up with a..." Before we start the video, look, Cortex Labs is a performance optimization and hormone consulting company for men, largely specializing in TRT guidance and sexual dysfunction, and a range of different products ranging from Sourceless, which is a trusted list of anabolics, including high-potency DHT gel, Testival esters, HCG for cheap. Get down in the description of this video. For 15 years, I was studying the neuropharmacology and doing content on nootropics relative to brain function, and I built one. I built my own. It's called Torque. Get down in the description of this video. Lastly, I'm a coach on TRT protocol restructuring as well as sexual dysfunction. You can hire me for a one-off call with a protocol creation or an ongoing package in under a minute at livecortex.com. The pathways that go awry, and one of the major causes of both the cognitive issues as well as the erectile issues and the sexual dysfunction that take place when people use finasteride, minoxidil. Yes, it does go systemic and does cause PFS, as well as some more mild 5-alpha reductase inhibitors like saw palmetto, lion's mane, among other things. I'm going to take us to a documentary that I did, which is titled Post-Finasteride Syndrome Deniers, a Dangerous Precedent, in which in the beginning I pretty much lay out one of the major mechanisms for specifically the sexual dysfunction and the cognitive issues. How could a simple hair loss prevention drug cause these side effects? The answer is quite simple. An inhibition of the pathway of the conversion of testosterone into the most masculinizing sexual organ development and maintenance androgen called DHT limits bioavailability of DHT, forcing an upregulation of the pathway of testosterone's conversion into estradiol or estrogen. Estradiol is critical for cardiac, joint, brain, and sexual health for men. But is there a threshold? Actually, yes, there is. In a 2019 study titled The Association Between Elevated Serum Estradiol Levels and Clinically Significant Erectile Dysfunction in Men Presenting for Andrological Evaluation, a blood level of 32 picograms per milliliter of serum estrogen was deemed the cutoff point, after which men were more susceptible to experience erectile dysfunction. In that study, they found that a higher proportion of those with high serum E2 or estrogen had clinically significant erectile dysfunction. And we actually have a clinically conclusive mechanism by which this happens: vascular endothelial growth factor at penile tissue triggering venous occlusive disorder and leakage of blood from the penile veins causing erectile dysfunction. Okay, so the primary problem there, to simplify it, is your testosterone in the presence of something that is inhibiting 5-alpha reductase isoenzymes is converting much more disproportionately to estradiol versus DHT. In fact, you end up bottoming out close to the lower end of the reference range. In fact, in some cases, actually deficient in dihydrotestosterone when you're blocking 5-alpha reductase enzymes via using finasteride, minoxidil, which also goes systemic, and some other mild 5-alpha reductase inhibitors. Now, the recovery from PFS is multifold, and though it is different, like everybody's protocol sort of has to be different. The dose of testosterone has to be different, and whether or not they need HCG is different. Some people need somewhat elevated estradiol. Some people can't tolerate elevated estradiol. Generally, though, there are some things that are the same across everybody, and one of them, almost always, so some people can get enough DHT from their testosterone, but some people can't, or some people need DHT therapeutically, is high potency dihydrotestosterone. I'm talking about taking levels way past even the super physiologic range. Like you get up into 150 nanograms per deciliter of DHT. Well, you're super physiologic. But do you need 400, 500? Do you need 1,000? So somewhat recently, I think in the month of February or maybe it was January, a new PFS coaching client came on board, had, the vast array of symptoms that people usually are suffering from: erectile issues, libido issues, massive dysfunction in the entirety of the sexual system, cognitive issues, productivity issues, like well-being issues. And I'm gonna let you listen to this audio, parts of this audio, to show just how potent 20% DHT gel. This is 20% DHT gel, which again, you could find this on the source list, by the way, guys. And Dractum, which we usually get, people usually get, it's a pharmaceutical preparation that's 2.5% DHT gel. Still a lot of DHT, but maybe you need to be a lot higher. A lot of these guys do. 20% makes a fucking significant difference, and it happens right away. Let's get into this anecdotal.
Hey brother, I just want to give you a quick update. I went ahead and applied the DHT gel to my traps, shoulders. So I didn't sleep last night. I had a full insomnia night last night. I got it probably 2 or 3 hours of sleep. I've been feeling fucking horrible all day. So I applied that tonight, and all of a sudden I have tons of energy. I feel so much better. I feel lucid. I just want to get things done. Very, very positive initial response. I did not do any testosterone. This is pure DHT, but I feel really good so far. And just wanted to give you a heads up on that.
Okay, now let me take you into the messages. This is a fucking critically important part. And again, this happened right away. You'll have dudes that, have PFS and will try, I don't know, lithium orotate or fucking citicoline or tyrosine, thinking it's like some neurotransmitter problem, or they'll get on testosterone, but their DHT isn't high enough. And for 6 straight months, they have no improvement in erectile quality. This is the next day after the application of 20% DHT gel. Guy goes, "Good morning. Slept fantastic and woke up with a boner." And he goes, "But I should mention that 2 days ago I had a vardenafil microdose, and maybe that's playing a role. Unlikely. Unlikely. A microdose of vardenafil is not going to cause you to have erections like 2 days later, especially to someone with PFS. Unfortunately, in these cases, there are limited sources or people that are compounding or making high potency DHT gel. Again, the most commercially available DHT gel that we have also on the source list that people can get, on the web is Andrectum, and that is a 2.5% DHT gel. Now, that might be useful for some people. It certainly had positive effects in me, but there's a huge difference between a 2.5% gel and a 20% DHT gel. We're continuing to monitor that situation, but things have improved. There are now incidences of spontaneous erections. Again, guys on the wrong track trying to fix sexual dysfunction will not have random erections for 6 months to a year, for 2 years, for 3 years, because they're on the wrong track. Even guys that go on androgens, but they're not getting enough DHT, or somehow the balance is off and the protocol isn't right, they're not going to have a return of spontaneous erections. 2 to 3 days into 20% DHT gel, the return of spontaneous erections is pretty magnificent, non-trivial. Again, high potency DHT gel, 20% DHT gel is on the source list, so you have access to it on the source list at livecortex.com. I collected that source over years of trying to find sources that were vetted, that worked, that I tested the products on, that weren't selling scammy bullshit, that had high quality product. Alternatively, though, DHT gel is really not that difficult to make, as long as you have ChatGPT, or an otherwise AI engine to tell you exactly the concentrations of whatever you need to put together. Specifically DMSO, which is an agent that allows chemical compounds in powder form to be absorbed into your skin, as well as either a lotion or, better yet, aloe vera. Aloe vera would be a way to make homemade DHT gel with, of course, the addition of DHT. So this is what I did. Let me tell you about my experience. I took, just as a trial to make like a small amount of it, I took, I think it was 8 milliliters of aloe vera. I believe it was 2 milliliters of DMSO, and it was 2 grams of raw standalone powder or DHT powder. Now, I mixed those things appropriately until it became sort of a fine paste. and then continued mixing. I had to mix a lot and get the amount. I had to add a little bit more aloe vera to make it close to a 20% gel that was actually in a gel-like consistency. The key here for me, because I had one failed batch, which ultimately kind of wasted 2 grams of DHT, is stirring the hell out of it. Stirring the hell out of this to make it enough of a consistency where it's gel, and the DHT powder itself actually dissolves in the DMSO, and you don't have like fine particles, like coarse particles of DHT, which are likely not getting absorbed. My first run of 20% DHT gel was yesterday. Okay. In the morning, I rubbed on my forearms. I rubbed a milliliter of DHT gel on my forearms. It went in fine. It was somewhat similar to test cream, although a little more coarse. Test cream is very, very smooth when it absorbs on the testicles. You just don't see it after about a minute. And nonetheless, it absorbed, and I was on the way to go get my car washed and then go to the gym. What's up, boys? So I just applied to the inner forearms milliliter of 20% DHT gel. Okay, homemade from DMSO, DHT powder, and aloe vera. I'm on my way to the gym, just getting a quick car wash. And I gotta say, I'm feeling pretty fucking froggy on 20% DHT. As I'm pulling into the fucking car wash, look, I already know what this feels like. I've taken high dose Proviron. I've taken regular dose Proviron, which is very, very powerful. I've taken DHT powder orally. I've taken Primo. I've taken Masteron. There's a feeling when the DHT stuff is stroked that is unmatchable, like with any nootropic or any other state, even TRT itself. It's a powerful, strong, confident, masculine, assertive feeling, which it kind of lands you in a place where you just do your thing and don't give a fuck what anyone thinks. It's very awesome. If you were to take the most man's man and try to isolate, like in a hormone, what makes up how fucking stone cold confident and cool he is, but also pleasant and nice and respectful, but has a purpose and is mission driven, it would be DHT. So I'm driving into the car wash, and like it started hitting me as I'm paying for it. Actually started hitting me like right away. Like, you know, as I'm at my house leaving, getting ready for the gym, like I'm feeling fucking pumped. I started feeling confident, masculine, just focused, clear mentally, and very, very strong about my mission for the day. Instantly, that Proviron-like feeling, but stronger, much stronger. Remember, this is 20% DHT gel, just onsetted. I'm sitting there like, I'm just like, fuck, like, holy shit, here this is again. But this feels, I don't want to exaggerate, but it feels like 5x stronger than how Proviron feels. I've been criticized on Excel Mail or something, one of these forums, for like exaggerating effects. And I know like it's 5x more powerful than the effect of Proviron on that masculine, confident feeling. I felt fucking amazing. Just how my client explained that he felt after the application of 20% DHT gel. So then I go to the gym, and it's like every time that I dose a DHT derivative or I'm on DHT itself, there's again this sort of stoic, very focused, in my own lane, confident, masculine, assertive fucking state. And you can tell the difference. I mean, I'm generally in that state without DHT, but from the DHT, from the TRT or the cycle that I'm running or whatever I'm running. And you can tell the guys at the gym that aren't in that state, right? Most of them are natural. I mean, you occasionally get a bodybuilder or someone that's using gear or just TRT. Most of these guys are in that like suffering phase stage of their life where they're just going to continue to suffer, right? Because they're at 400 or 600 nanograms per deciliter total test, and maybe they should be at 900 or 1,000 or 1,500. But that insanely assertive, confident, masculine feeling where I was just like fucking strong and stoic, knew what I needed to do, gave a fucking, like I could never give a fuck what people think about me or what they do in their brains about me. What are you doing? Like, you're wasting time if you're thinking about what people are doing in their neurons about you. But that feeling of like, I don't give a fuck, I'm just me, majorly pronounced. I finished the workout, went home, and then started having sexual stuff pop up. Literally though, erectile quality got substantially better. Now I'm on 300 milligrams of test a week, so call that sports TRT. So there's always, when you change a dose, a period of 4 weeks on a long ester where there's inconsistency in libido and erections, and I've been experiencing that. Some days they're very forceful and great, and other days I could give a shit less, and I'd rather play Warzone or whatever than think about sex. But so this took some time. It was a few hours or so. A few hours, then I started feeling a spontaneous erection coming. You know when it happens, right? It starts to act automatically. You know, kind of just comes out of nowhere. So I had a spontaneous erection that lasted 10 fucking minutes. On TRT, yeah, that happens, but I don't usually last 10 minutes. My libido, again, changing doses to 300 milligrams a week for what'll probably be for a week cycle. I'm not really even seeing massive anabolism on it. I usually need to be at like 500 to see a good degree of anabolism, but I feel good on it, so we'll see. Libido's like pretty good, but again, there's this inconsistent period where your body's adjusting to the new level of hormones, androgen receptors, estradiol, etc. But the libido turned on very fucking strong after a few hours, like hour 3, 4, right around the time the spontaneous erection happened. And for the rest of the day, which was yesterday, my libido was fucking crazy. It's like, I did other stuff, but a good degree of my day was dominated by thinking about like my libido. It's like, wow, like this is like really, really strong. This is really, really strong. Anyway, woke up this morning, erections through the night, nocturnals, morning erections. Dosed some more 20% DHT gel this morning. So a milliliter on the forearms. Just about 2 hours ago. Same stoic, confident, masculine, assertive fucking feeling. Very, very powerful. But importantly, as my client said, like I really feel like I want to get stuff done. My average wanting to get stuff done is like the average person call them right around here. I'm like up here. I'm up here. Like I'm usually like that since I'm fucking 19 years old and I'm now 40. But there's you can go from up here to up here, right? Or you could have your normal orientation to want to be productive just be catapulted into another level, just enhanced on top of what you already have as a baseline. And so again, it's that feeling of just knowing what you need to do, not giving a fuck what people think about it, being very, very driven. And also one of the really interesting positive mental side effects, if you will, of high potency 20% DHT gel is you question yourself less. Yeah. Let's think about that for a second. People second guess themselves all the time, like in stuff. You have to get into the habit of not doing that. I learned that in the military, of course, but I think I learned that interestingly more so as an entrepreneur, to have ideas about what should happen and then execute. Like don't sit and question it because you're going to talk yourself out of it, or you're going to feel not confident about it the moment you go to execute it. You have to make decisions and then execute. And if you're wrong, the results will show you you're wrong. You can't sit and fucking postulate in your head forever. I mean, this is what the MBAs that paid $100,000 to get their MBAs will do. And they go out and never can start businesses, paralysis by analysis thing. And you don't want that. But interestingly, on DHT gel, 20%, I am more decisive. Overall, that's all experience that I have on 20% DHT gel. I've got on SourceList an actual source for compounded 20% DHT. We've got 2.5%, which is Andractin, and then 20% gel. But I think what I wanted to do in this video is for the PFS people, for people in general, I think this is entertaining and useful and educational for TRT people as well, just like people that are on androgens as well. But especially for the sexual dysfunction people, you need to know how important DHT is, whether you're getting it from testosterone at high levels, you're converting correctly, or you're taking it exogenously for your recovery, both on the mental side, the well-being side, the cognitive side, as well as the sexual side, and specifically relative to libido and erection quality. More to come on this, okay? Again, I've got more 20% DHT gel coming in, and I will be experimenting myself with more high potency DHT gel. So I'll be doing different specific videos, probably on like individual aspects of the outcomes, like sexual functions specifically. And as I said in the beginning, look, I'm a coach on TRT protocol restructuring as well as sexual dysfunction, among other things. You can hire me for a one-off call where I'll create you an online document with a protocol to restructure your TRT protocol, or an ongoing package. Listen, I mean, if you got sexual dysfunction, we're going to need multiple protocol attempts. We're going to need a large degree of time on certain compounds. We're going to need changes on your protocol. We're going to need adjustment periods after each change. Like, these things take time. So hire me for a one-on-one package if you have the budget and you'd like for me to work with you on an every other day basis very consistently. I'm building your whole protocol. I'm monitoring everything. I'm keeping track of everything, and I'm getting you better. LiveCortex.com, boys. LiveCortex.com. Go book me. TorqueStack. Again, my history is in the neuropharmacology of nootropics for performance for entrepreneurs. So I built a nootropic. It is called Torque, and it fucking works. You can get it down the description of this video. Lastly, SourceList. I mean, if you want access to everything, literally, including the high potency DHT gel 20%. The materials to make it yourself, Testable esters, HCG for cheaper, Proviron, Primo, Master, anything you can think of. If you need to circumvent your clinic, because sometimes people have to do that, right? Your clinic is not going to prescribe you some of the things that you might need to do therapy on yourself to get better from certain syndromes, or to just fully optimize your TRT protocol. Get source lists down in the description of this video. It took me a while to put it together. It is no bullshit. It is right to the sources, and they are high quality, and they all deliver quickly. All right. Brother. It's been an absolute pleasure hanging out with you. Like the video, makes a huge difference. Bro, honestly, would you do me that favor and hit the like button? It really, really does matter for YouTube and the algorithm. So please hit the like button. It makes it would make me very happy. Sub to the channel. Much more breakdowns on this. TRT protocol, sexual dysfunction, PFS, host of other things. Sub to the channel, boys. I'd love to have you. Otherwise, hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Much more content coming soon. Live stream coming this Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern time. Kick ass, rock on, and I'll talk to you boys in the next one.